Welcome to another Jedi Business video. My name is Chris B, and on today's video I want to take a look at all the reveals from this morning. Hasbro held another live stream on their YouTube channel, and it was called the Father's Day live stream, and it was kind of take on the scene of Vader revealing that he's Luke's father, of course. All the reveals are on the website, of course, together with all the press releases. And if you want to dive deeper and have something to read, I'll put a link into the description so you can check that out. So the first vintage collection figure that they talked about was the Republic Trooper. It's going to be exclusive to Shop Disney and Hasbro Pulse, and it goes on sale tomorrow, June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is, of course, the figure that has been released twice already, once in the Vintage Collection, but also once in the 3 3/4 inch Black Series line. And that won the fan vote and is going to be released in spring of next year. But again, pre-orders go live tomorrow on Hasbro Pulse and on Shop Disney. The other figure which was revealed is the Hoth Rebel Trooper VC68. That was a figure that was very difficult to find when it was initially released. It was a figure that a lot of people wanted to troop build at the time and just couldn't find this one anywhere. So now it's going to be re-released finally, but they will of course update the card back with different legal statements, and the figure itself will have the updated photoreal portrait, which is cool because it's going to look better than the original one. As far as brand new reveals go, they showed Bo-Katan, they showed Mythrol, and they showed Kuiil from The Mandalorian. Bo-Katan looks pretty cool. She comes with a swappable helmet. So instead of you just placing a helmet on top of the head, you'll actually have to pop the head off and then plug the helmet back on. They mentioned on the live stream that that's a better way on how to get the proportions right. The figure will have also a removable jetpack, 2 blasters, working holsters, and the photoreal update, of course. As far as Mythrol goes, he comes with a lot of accessories actually, like a blaster, the bounty, holo puck, binders, and a cutting tool. Now, Kuiil was the third figure that was revealed. Wasn't really a big surprise because they had already mentioned that they'll try to get a lot of the Mandalorian characters from the first season at least out onto store shelves by the time the Razor Crest is going to be released. So they actually had a video for fans which they showed behind the scenes look at the packaging shoot for the Razor Crest. And Kuiil was one of the figures that's apparently going to be on the packaging. Now, looking at the press releases, I think the figure looks pretty good, but it unfortunately doesn't look as good as the Black Series version. Remember, the Black Series version came with a removable cap, and here it seems like it's all sculpted onto the head and not removable, unfortunately. But it's still a really good-looking figure, though. Now, the Razor Crest itself looked fantastic in all its shiny look, and I can't wait to get this. So the behind-the-scenes video which they showed looked absolutely fantastic. So just a few more months to go, and then we'll have this one in our collection. So it's pretty cool. Now, the last segment for the Vintage Collection was the pipeline reveals. That's something that they started doing not too long ago, where they talk about upcoming action figures for one of their toy lines, but they're still so far out and so early in the development process that they can't show prototypes. But they did announce today that Bib Fortuna is going to come back out on a Return of the Jedi card, and Lobot, of course, from The Empire Strikes Back, is also going to be redone and it's going to be re-released, and it's going to be out sometime next year. Now, as far as Bib Fortuna goes, we've already gotten 4 Bib Fortuna figures in the 3 3/4 inch line, so this is going to be the 5th release. And for Lobot, it's going to be the 4th release. Now, both characters can use an update, I agree, but, if you've been collecting 3 3/4 inch for a while, you already have these characters in your collection, but it's still going to be nice to get those upgrades. They also announced the Navarro Cantina playset from The Mandalorian. I think this is pretty cool because the Cantina was heavily featured at the end of the first season of The Mandalorian during the shootout. And, we already have the Death Troopers, we already have Mando and Cara and the Flame Trooper, regular Stormtroopers, plus the Imperial Troop Transport, which we can park in front of it. and Moff Gideon, and so I think this could be a really cool display. So fingers crossed that this is going to be really cool, and I'm looking forward to finding out more about this one on a future live stream. And that was it basically for the vintage collection. I think that overall it was really cool. Like I said, you know, the Republic Trooper was already announced previously, but the Hoth Rebel Trooper re-release is cool with the photoreal update, plus 3 new Mandalorian figures and 2 characters from the original trilogy, along with the playset from the Mandalorian. So I think it was a really good showing for vintage collection fans. So next up, let's talk about the Black Series line. And for the Black Series, they showed off the final wave of archive figures for this year. That's going to include Princess Leia from A New Hope, Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith, the 501st Clone Trooper from Revenge of the Sith, and Darth Revan. To me, the most impressive figures in this set is Leia, of course, with the photoreal update. This looks so much nicer than previously. And of course, Obi-Wan's also the first time that this figure is going to get the photoreal update. So those figures are definitely worth picking up again, I think. But then when I look at the other 2 figures, if you already have those, you can skip them. The 501st Clone Trooper was available in an Entertainment Earth multi-pack. And so now they're putting it back out. I think that's cool for fans, so you can pick it up if you missed out on the 4-pack. And Darth Revan, they talked about the stronger lightsaber blade colors. To me, it looks pretty much identical. You know, even if the colors are stronger, I don't think it's worth to buy it again for another $23, because that's the MSRP on those, $22.99. And overall, I think it's really interesting that they're putting Revan back out, because remember, that was on clearance at Best Buy stores for $10. And we've seen this lately a lot. You know, Captain Rex is back out, although that figure was $3.99 at my local Ross stores. And they put it back out and it sells out again. You know, it's really interesting. I think there's just a lot of new people getting into the hobby, I guess. I'm not sure, but it's interesting to see that figures initially didn't sell well at all. And then all of a sudden there's demand and they put it back out and it sells out again. So it's really interesting. So, but anyways, I think this entire wave is going to do well. Obi-Wan is always a fan favorite. So is Leia. And can't go wrong with a Trooper, and Darth Revan is pretty awesome too. So there you go. That's your final wave of archive figures for the rest of this year. And then after those reveals, it got really heavy on Rogue One. And they showed off the packaging for the first time, which is going to have a turquoise color, which I think looks really cool. And they are going to re-release Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor, Base Melbis, and Chirrut Imwe. Those 4 figures are going to have the photoreal update, which is really cool, I think. K2SO, I'm not quite sure, because they did mention specifically that he's going to have white eyes. But they must have forgotten that they've already released him with white eyes and red eyes, actually. The first version of K2SO that actually showed up in my neck of the woods was the one that had the white eyes. And that was then later corrected to the red eyes, which looked fairly simple with just red dots basically on the eyes. But yeah, so those 2 versions have already been released previously. So anyways, they're putting K2SO back out. And I think, you know, these Rogue One figures, not only is it the 5th anniversary of Rogue One, but we have Cassian Andor next year. And so it's pretty cool to get an update, especially on that main character. But besides those figures, they also showed 3 brand new figures with Bodhi Rook, Antok Merrick, Blue Leader, and Galen Erso. Now, Bodhi Rook is an entirely new sculpt, of course, and it looks fantastic. The head sculpt in particular looks outstanding. It comes with a ton of accessories, and I love the articulation in this figure because the joints seem to be really well hidden, and it doesn't have these 2 pins in the arm, so it's really, really cool looking. And Antok Merrick, Blue Leader, he looks really cool. Comes with his removable helmet and a blaster. And it looks like as if it's going to be a nicely weathered figure. And then the other figure that they showed is Galen Erso, which is going to come with the Death Star plans. You know, Galen Erso, to me, quite honestly, is an essential character to have in the Black Series line. But granted, it's not the most exciting character, right? But it is a necessity to have, I think. So going into fall, it's going to be heavy on Rogue One. I mean, not just the Black Series line, but we're also going to get the Vintage Collection X-Wing fighter with Antok Merrick as well. So, and we've already gotten a 10-4 playset with the Rebel Fleet Trooper on a Rogue One card, and they've released Darth Vader in the Vintage Collection on the Rogue One card already. So there's a lot of love for Rogue One, which is really cool. And of course, let's not forget the first wave of archive figures, which also featured 3 figures from the Black Series based on Rogue One. So there's a lot of Rogue One love this year, so that's pretty cool. So last but not least, they showed the pipeline reveals for the Black Series line. They showed the Jedi Patrol Stormtrooper. Again, another Rogue One figure, which is cool. They showed Bib Fortuna, Mayfeld, Fennec Shand, Nomad Boba Fett, and Cobb Vanth. And I love this lineup. Can't wait for all of those, actually. I think this is really cool. I mean, especially Nomad, Boba Fett, and Cobb Vanth, and Fennec Shand, along with Mayfeld. Although Mayfeld, I think I would have preferred to see the Season 1 outfit, quite honestly. But this is a really cool lineup. And, of course, Bib Fortuna. You know, we already have Jabba the Hutt in the 6-inch line, so he is missing his sidekick with Bib Fortuna. And that's cool that they're doing him. And then also the Jedi Patrol Stormtrooper with a big backpack. That's always been a trooper that stood out to me in Rogue One. And so that's really cool that they're doing that as well. Now, there was one teaser that they had at the very end of the live stream where they revealed that there will be another HasLab project this year. But not for the Vintage Collection, but for the Black Series 6-inch line. And they did mention that it is not going to be a vehicle. So the question is, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a multi-pack of figures? Is it going to be a creature? Is it going to be a playset or some sort of environment piece? Who knows? Gotta wait and see. But that's coming rather sooner than later. So, you know, if you're complete with the Black Series line, or if you like to get in on HasLab stuff, we all know that HasLab isn't cheap. So, you know, start saving your pennies now. And this pretty much concludes the video. There's a link in the description where you can pre-order all of those figures tomorrow at Entertainment Earth. So just hit that link and support JediBusiness.com. And I guess I'll catch you guys on the next video.